The woman threw her baby's used diaper into the sea. The waste drifted in the water. This attracted a few hungry fish. Annie, who hadn't eaten for days, was overjoyed. She hoped the fish could become her food, so she made a simple spear. If she could catch a fish, she would solve the problem of lacking food and continue surviving on the ocean. But since the tool wasn't sharp enough, Annie couldn't catch any fish. Instead, she lost a lot of strength. It seemed she had to find another way. Suddenly, a plane flew overhead. Annie thought if she could get the plane's attention, she and her baby could be rescued. Then she went into the container and smashed the television screen, then took a piece of glass outside. But in her rush, she cut her thigh while climbing up. Annie ignored the pain. She had to seize this chance to seek help. Then she used the glass as a mirror, trying to reflect light to get the pilot's attention, but it still failed. Helpless Annie quickly returned inside the container, found a bent needle from the TV parts, and some copper wire, then sterilized them with liquor. She endured the pain and stitched her wound herself. The next day she used a homemade fishing net to catch fish. She first placed the net into the water, then lay on the edge of the container, and tossed a diaper right into the middle of the net. After that she just had to wait patiently. Soon the waste spread in the water, and successfully attracted some small fish. Annie seized the moment and caught a big fish. Hungry, she devoured the raw fish, because only this way could she and her baby survive at sea. After that, Annie used the same method every day to catch fish. Not only could she fill her stomach, she also had extra fish to store. To increase her chance of rescue, she wrote messages on paper, then sealed them in containers, and threw them all into the sea, hoping someone would discover her. Annie and her baby encouraged each other, promising to stay alive. Time quickly passed. 26 days. The water level inside the container had reached the top. Annie could only cling to the top with her baby. She realized if this continued, the container would sink. She made a small raft from containers. With this, she and her daughter could keep living. One day a seagull appeared in sight. Annie was overjoyed, because seeing a seagull meant land was near. But fate gave her no more time to drift. The container's water level had reached its limit and was sinking. Annie had already prepared to abandon the container, but she had left behind the chocolate her husband gave her. Annie wanted to retrieve it, but by then the container was sinking. This caused her to be entangled by ropes. She took a deep breath and dived underwater. After struggling, she managed to cut the ropes and finally escaped the sinking container. But her daughter had drifted away. Suddenly a whale approached. It came to the baby in spouted water. The seawater splashed on the baby's face, waking Bella from her sleep. Her cry let Annie find her direction. With the whale's help, mother and daughter reunited. Annie clung to the raft and kept drifting. Just then a flock of seagulls flew over, drawn by the smell. This scene was noticed by fishermen in the distance. Lucy told her father to sail over and check. They found a baby floating on the sea. Together they pulled the baby up. They were shocked when they saw the baby. Then Lucy touched the baby's face and found the warmth was still there. Soon she found a rope tied to the raft. Lucy pulled hard on it and successfully pulled Annie out of the water. Seeing this, Lucy began resuscitation, performing CPR and mouth to mouth. At first it had no effect, but suddenly the baby cried. Seeing this, Lucy tried again, and after her efforts, Annie finally woke up. When Annie woke, she called for her child. Seeing the baby in her arms, and then looking at Lucy's son, Annie finally believed this wasn't a hallucination. She and her baby had truly survived. This experience showed Annie life's fragility and resilience.